Hello, welcome to Real Frank Movie Reviews. In this episode, we're going to take a look at the new movie FireStarter. Now, if you haven't seen it and you want to see it first, because we will be talking about spoilers. I mean, if you want to really consider this a spoiler type of movie, I mean, is it really a spoiler movie? Anyway, we're going to talk about everything. So if you want to see it first, pause, come back, and check this episode out. We're going to get into the difference between this one and the classic. And we'll also get into things we like, didn't like, and give this thing an overall score and why possibly this was also available to stream at the same time it was released at movie theaters. All that coming up next.
Real Frank.
Okay, let's get into Firestarter. Oh, thank you. Thank you, audience. Thank you. Oh my God. What a great audience. So let's get into it. A couple desperately trying to hide their daughter, Charlie, from a shadowy federal agency that wants to harness her unprecedented gift for turning fire into a weapon of mass destruction. Her father taught her how to defuse her power, but as Charlie turns 11, at a specific age, 11, the fire becomes harder and harder to control. When a mysterious operative finally finds the family, he tries to seize Charlie once and for all, but she has other plans. All right, so obviously, this movie's based on the original. I think that came out in the 80s. The 80 version of this thing. Good old Drew Barrymore. And then you have Ryan Armstrong playing this current version. As you look at that, are you wondering who looks a little more crazier, Ryan or Drew? Who has the crazier eyes? I mean, they did not even shy away from the posters. The posters almost look identical, except the little imagery updated because of all the new technology. But who has the crazier eyes? Who has the crazier look? Who is more psycho? I'm still going to have to go with Drew in this. I mean, her eyes still look pretty empty, hollow, like evilness there. So when this movie starts off, again, we'll be talking about everything here. There are a bunch of red flags right away about what type of piece of material you're about to watch on television and enjoy. Now, if you did go see this at the movie theater, I streamed it for Peacock, thank God. If you were unfortunate and hadn't paid hard-earned money for this, I feel sorry for you. My prayers and thoughts. Prayers and thoughts if you paid hard-earned money to see this at a movie theater. But it starts off, and you know there's some red flags right away because it's the beginning of Charlie as a baby, and she's in a crib, little baby, and the crying sounds are so far off to what the baby's expressions are showing you in the image. So the baby looks like this, and then the baby sounds are all these whiny sounds, and now obviously the baby's not whining from what they just showed us on TV or on the screen, so it made no sense. Like that automatically was a red flag. I immediately was taken out immediately because all I could think about while these baby sounds, and they're really pushing these baby sounds, are not matching up with what they're showing on screen with the baby. So right then and there, that was a red flag. Now, with these type of movies, is this movie a horror movie or is this a tweener? I don't know. It's kind of like they were trying to push a horror movie here, but I don't know. But here we are. You know, when you have a special child with special powers, I personally always like to send them to public school, not homeschool them or teach them at home because I'm worried that they may kill somebody or burn them to death when they get pissed. But, you know, parents will be parents and we'll want them to fit in, so we're going to go ahead and send them to public school, even though we know that our child is a psychopath mass destruction weapon. So, of course, doesn't fit in, and we know she's going to get picked on, and she gets picked on. She's learning how to harness her power, but she's not very good at it because we all get mad and we lose it sometimes, and she lost it. And, of course, go to the bathroom to hide it, to try and control it. But obviously, It doesn't work. She ends up having an episode, and the teacher sees it. Now, what do you think was going to happen to parents? You think your kid's going to fit in? Huh? Try have a normal life? It's ridiculous. That whole thing was ridiculous. If you got a special kid like this, if this is true, you're going to take her home, and you're going to homeschool her, right? If you're trying to hide from everybody, you're on the run, you're going to homeschool the kid. You're not going to send the kid to public school. It's ridiculous. Ludicrous. Ludicrous. Like I said, if you paid hard-earned money for this, so sorry for you. Thoughts and prayers. Thoughts and prayers. So we continue on. Mom and Dad confront her. I skipped a lot of stuff to save you some time, but she gets pissed at her parents. And when she gets pissed, she sets her mom on fire. Yep. Sets her mom on fire. Set her arms on fire. Now, this scene was so ridiculous because her mom's arms are already out like this, to kind of say, like, come here, I want to hug you. But it did not look that way. It looked like, here are my arms. Is it okay how I have them so you can put the CGI fire on them and they can shoot up and look really good when you put the CGI on them? Because it looked ridiculous. It did not look like natural, like, oh, come here, child. It was like, CGI fire going to be put on my arms. CGI fire. CGI fire. So there's the CGI fire. She sets her mommy on fire. Great daughter. She's pissed. CGI fire. And look at this is what it is. Shooting up her arms. Shooting up her arms. All the way up here. I mean, the one thing you do got to give this thing is the CGI was pretty good. This is pretty much what saved it. CGI was pretty solid with this. But as you can see, the fire is shooting up and extended arms. Extended. And now this cracked me up. Because it looked like, you ever go to like a Greek restaurant and you get the fiery cheese and they bring it, Oppa! And she's got two of them in her hands. Oppa! You want some fiery cheese? You want some flaming cheese? I got it here. Oppa! Oppa on the fiery cheese. Ooh, I got some fiery cheese. Oppa! Looked a little weird. Looked like she's throwing fire instead of burning. It was quite awkward, and I have to see it kind of ridiculous. And I will say that I did laugh out loud in this particular scene because that's how ridiculous it was. So we continue. Bad guy finds her, right? They find them, locate them, and the bad guy kills the mom. Kills the mom, right? It's around the run, and no one's really said that mom's dead. Mom's dead. Mom's body got dumped in the closet. She's dead. And they don't care. They don't have any mourning. There's this version of Firestarter. I believe her name's Ryan Armstrong. Her crying and like sad scenes were not very believable. I think I would have bought the Drew version better. She seemed more acting level, much better in the dramatic part. The Drew Barrymore version of Charlie. So her dad and her are on the run. Mommy's dead. We don't mourn. Not even daddy, Zac Efron. Which was kind of hard to believe he's a dad, you know what I mean? Because he's a handsome guy. There's no way around it. He's a handsome man. And he still looks like a young man. And it's still hard to believe he's a father in this movie. But he is. So she gets mad at a cat in this scene. The cat scratches her, of course, because it's a stray cat. And she gets mad and cooks the cat. Then cook the cat all the way. Dad says you got to finish off the cat. Instead of, oh, you got to control your power. You should have never fried the cat. It's like, oh, you fried the cat. Now you got to finish the cat off. You got to finish something to complete. You can't let it suffer. So that's what this theme was all about. It was very weird. Very weird. Very weird, the message here. So they find a hitchhiker. They're hitchhiking around. They ditch the car. They find this old guy, of course, an old guy. And the old guy picks him up, and he says he's traveling to Boston. He's driving to Boston. The guy's like, I got to go see my wife, blah, blah, blah. Go over there. And, of course, the old guy sees his picture on the news and calls the cops. Cops find him, and they're there to take him. And here he is coming out to let his daughter, Charlie, get free to run away from the people trying to take her. So that's what this scene was all about. She gets away, and this is what her current situation looks like. She's all messed up. She ends up at her neighborhood. And her clothes are, she's been through hell, right? Shows up in her neighborhood, and this is what always happens when I see a girl that looks like this. I always go, oh, she's just a weird kid. I'm not thinking, oh, she might be in danger. But in this movie, just some weird kid. Some kids see her, start making fun of her, and she does her mind things takes control of them and gets their clothes and their bike and goes chasing Daddy. They captured her dad. Dad's a hostage. Her dad's like, but it's really the bad guy who's doing it that killed her mom in the beginning. They captured him too, and he's enticing her to come get him. And anyway, she does. So she gets over there and she's there, and shit's gonna hit the fan when you pull the hoodie up. You got a red hoodie, you put the red hoodie up, it's on like Donkey Kong. This is what happens here. She's gonna go free her dad. Her dad's damaged from using his powers every time he uses his powers. It was ridiculous, but it was kind of gross seeing pretty boys. Zach's a sexy man, then his eyes are bleeding. This doesn't feel or look right. She goes in there. Dad says, "Kill me." So she kills her dad, burns her dad, burns everybody, burns the place to the ground, and she's not remorseful. She's not sad. She just killed her dad. You just killed your dad. You killed your dad. You killed your dad. She's not even crying. Not even crying. That was weird too. This movie is whacked. And again, if you went to the movie theater and didn't have Peacock and was able to watch this for free, thoughts and prayers, man. Thoughts and prayers for having to pay for that. And here's the weird part. She burns the whole place down. And she hooks up with this is the bad guy. This is the bad guy. This is the bad guy. That's the guy. That's the guy that killed his mom. That's the guy that was there, enticed her to come in here. And she's going to leave with him. At the end, they show holding hands and walking away. This man killed your mom, although you did set her on fire. You did set her on fire, but he still killed your mom, and you're still friends with him. And that's how the movie ends. Now, I have a theory here. With the way things have gone with streaming and movie theaters, whenever a movie company releases a movie in the streaming at the same time as it comes out on the movie theater, it's garbage, right? That's my theory. They know the sales aren't going to be there, so they're like, we'll throw our streamers a bone. We'll throw them this new movie out there. We know it's going to tank. We know it's garbage out in the theaters, but we'll throw them a bone, Hey, they paid for this subscription for this service monthly. We'll throw this piece of garbage movie out there. And they'll be excited. It's a brand new movie. They don't have to go to the movie theater, even though no one's probably going to go to the movie theater to see this. And if they do, they're going to be mad. Yeah, so that's my theory. A lot of these movies that you can stream that go out into the movie theater are garbage. It's a fact. It just is. It's so wild. It's so weird. So my overall score for this movie is a solid 2.1. And the only reason it's a 2.1 is because of the CGI. The acting wasn't great. The story was ridiculous. It was just a joke. But the only reason they got a 2.1 is the fire and the explosion stuff looked pretty good for as shitty a movie this was. So, if you can watch it on Peacock, go ahead. It's fun. It's entertaining. But if you got to pay for this crap, woo! Woo! If I would have paid, my eyes would have been burning like in this scene right here. My eyes would have been burning because I'm thinking the entire time I paid money to see this movie in the movie theater. I mean, it's ridiculous. Oh, and another thing, the music in this kind of sounded like the Halloween series of movies. That's why I couldn't tell if this was a horror movie or a drama movie, because the movie music sounded like the movie Halloween. So that's my review. Overall, I give it a 2.1, a very solid but generous 2.1, only because of the CGI. Until next time, thanks for watching.